Hey guys, it's Ebony. I finally gotten around to answering this question that a lady named Marian left on one of my videos a couple of weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago, you left this question, and I'm sorry it took me so long to answer this question or to do a video about it. I wanted to make sure when I did the video I was, in the mood to talk, and I didn't want to just rush and throw something together. I wanted to be able to really talk and answer your questions. So the question she asked, she said, "Hi Ebony, I was wondering if you could do a video on your college experience and what you do or the field of work you are in, especially as a Christian, a wife, and a mother." And yes, I will be happy to talk about that. Well, let me start with the first part of your question, my college experience. I did not have a traditional college experience because when I started college, when I first began college, I was already a mother. So I already had given birth to my first daughter when I started college. And that was actually at the age of 21 when I started college. So I graduated high school when I was 18, just like most people do, 17 or 18. But I graduated when I was 18. Immediately after I graduated high school when I was 18, like a few months later, I went off to basic training for the Army. I spent about a year doing basic training and my job training, which in the Army, when I joined the Army, my job was a respiratory therapist. So it took me about a year to train in the hospital, learn how to do all of the different functions that my particular job entailed. So after I got out of my job training, I was 19 at the time. I went back to Alabama, and my plan was to enroll in college and then start taking classes towards my bachelor's degree. Well, I got back, and maybe like a couple of months later, after I had already enrolled in school and was going to begin, it was a spring semester at that time, my reserve unit, I was in the Army Reserve, so my reserve unit got deployed to work in a hospital in another state to backfill that hospital because the soldiers who were actually working in that hospital got deployed to Iraq. So anyway, to make a long story short, I was deployed for a year. So I put my school on hold again for another year, and by that time I was 20 when I actually got finished with my deployment, and then at 20 I became pregnant with my oldest daughter, and then I gave birth to her at 21, and that's when I started school. So basically, I say all that to say my college experience was not a traditional one. I had to start working full-time while going to school full-time because I needed to be able to bring in income as well to support my family. I was a mother, so I had to balance motherhood with all of my other responsibilities, and it was tough. It was very tough. Luckily, since I was in my early 20s, I had a lot more energy than I do now in my early 30s. Like, I could just go from morning to night, get little sleep at night with having a small child, and get up in the morning and do it all over again, and I wouldn't get burnt out as easily as I get burnt out now. Now I could never do what I did when I was 21, 22, 23. I could never do it. I could never do it. I don't even know how I did it, but I managed to go to work full-time, go to school full-time, and raise my child, which turned into children. Eventually I had my son 3 years later. And I was just able to be, I was very focused. I was a very focused person. So if I want something, I'm very focused, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to make it happen. So that was basically my college experience. So after I got my bachelor's degree, I went straight into my master's degree. By the time I started my master's degree, I was pregnant with my third child, my youngest baby girl. And I was pregnant with her, and so once again I was going to work, going to school, and being a mother, and it hasn't been easy. It's definitely been tough. Now, to kind of tie my faith into my college experience, do I think that was God's best plan for my life? No, I do not. Was I in rebellion at that time? I sure was. I was in rebellion at that time. First of all, I didn't know God's word. I didn't know his word. I never read the Bible. I didn't have a relationship with him, so I didn't even know his word to know what he expected of me. Not only that, I didn't seek him about anything. All the choices and decisions that I made in regards to my career choice or my what degree I was going to pursue in college, all of that came from me, what I wanted to do. I never saw him on anything because I didn't know to. I was ignorant in the fact that, God has a plan for your life, and if you seek him, he's going to direct your path. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't grow up in church. I didn't grow up reading the Bible, and I did not grow up praying. So I did not know that. So I don't think that was his best plan for my life. But what I do think is that even during that time when I did not know him and I did not seek him, I still think he had a hand in my life. And I still think that everything that happened in my life happened for a purpose, that he had a purpose for every decision that I made. He had a purpose. So the career that I went into was business. My bachelor's degree is in business administration. My master's degree is in business administration. And then I'm on my last class towards a master's degree in information technology. What I do for a living is I do consumer lending. So I work with I work for a bank, and I work in the consumer lending department, and that's the department that loans money for automobile purchases, signature loans, any type of loan that you may need. That's the department that handles it. And do I love it? I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I love it so much. Alright guys, so my battery died. So what I was saying is, I do believe the Lord uses his children in every field there is, every career field there is, to do his will. He can use Christians as doctors, as lawyers, as teachers, as business people. He can use Christians in politics. He can use Christians at McDonald's. He can use Christians at Walmart. He can use Christians in every single career field there is. How do you know where he wants you to go? You have to pray. You have to pray and seek him. If I were to live my teenage years all over again in high school, I would basically just write down my strengths and everything that I feel like I would be good at as far as a career or what I would want to do. I would just write it down. And then I would pray. I would fast, and I would pray, and I would seek the Lord and ask the Lord, where does he want me to be? And he may even point me to a direction that's not even on my list. But it's good to have kind of like to get your thoughts together, to kind of write it down. And then I would just pray, and I would fast. And I would definitely fast, because fasting is important. It allows you, to hear from God a lot clearer. And especially when you fast, if you, detach yourself from social media, from television, from, things that will distract you or clutter your mind or cloud your ability to hear from God. Just fast and pray and seek him, and he'll direct you. And if you feel like he's pointing you towards a certain direction, but you're not getting you can't tell if it's really him pointing you that way, just pray and ask him to make it clear. Father God, if you want me to do this particular career path, make it clear to me, so that there's no doubt in my mind this is where you would have me to be. And then he will just start laying things out and putting things in place where you will just know this is where he wants you to be. I would have done that, because maybe the Lord implants strengths and talents in each of us, different strengths, different talents that are best used in different settings. And he knows what purpose he created you for, and he knows what strengths he put into you, so he knows what will be best for you. And so when you're trying to decide what you want to do with your life, why not seek the person who knows you best, who already knows your life, who already has a purpose for your life, and just to go along with that purpose. So that's what I would have done. At this point in my life, I can't go back and change anything that's done, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I can't go back and change anything that I've done. But moving forward, when I decide to make a job change or a career change or anything like that, I will seek the Lord, and I will try to hear from him first. Now, the last thing I want to add to this video is the fact that as a mother, a wife and a mother, your number one area of importance and your number one ministry is in your home. First to your husband, second to your children. First to the Lord, then your husband, then your children, in that order. But your number one ministry, your number one responsibility is your home. Nobody can be a mother to your kids but you. Nobody can be a mother to my kids but me. Nobody can be a wife to my husband but me, So it's not like if I put that responsibility on the back burner, there's somebody to fill in for me, Yeah, you have like friends or grandparents or things like that who can help you from time to time, but the responsibility of being a wife and a mother lies on you, and it should come first before anything. So your career choice, if it is, the Lord's desire for you to work outside the home, a lot of times, women will stay inside the home with the children and be a homemaker, and I'm all for that. Like that, I'm all for that. That's 100% perfect for me, in my mind, for a woman to be in the home, because right now the kids need so much attention to be able to be nurtured and steered in the right direction, that if the mother can be in the home at all times, it just makes it so much more better for the kids to get that nurturing, to get that stability, to get that discipline that they need. But if it is the Lord's will for the woman to work outside the home for whatever reason, if it's financial reasons or whatever reason, that's between her and her husband and the Lord. But if it is the Lord's will for a woman to work outside the home, she just have to make sure that she's not sacrificing her family for her career. The career means nothing in the kingdom of heaven. It means nothing. The Lord is not going to ask you, when it's all said and done, what degree did you earn on earth, or what career did you have on earth, or how many promotions did you get. That stuff is not going to be of importance. What is going to be of importance is if you supported your husband, if you care for your husband, if you fulfill your responsibilities as a wife to your husband, if you mothered those children, if you raised them up if you raised them up to fear the Lord and to love the Lord and to be, and to be knowledgeable of the Lord's will and His word and all of those things. So those are the things that's going to matter in the afterlife. Career is not going to matter. How much money you made is not going to matter. Your job title, whether you're a doctor or whether you're a janitor, is not going to matter in the kingdom of heaven. It's not. It's not. And those labels are earthly things, and people take a lot of pride in those things. And yeah, if you've worked hard, you should be able to be a little proud of your accomplishments. But you should not take pride in being called, doctor such and such, or lawyer such and such, or whatever your title may be, because those things don't matter. Those things don't translate, to the kingdom of heaven. They don't. While you can use those things to help people here on earth, you can become a doctor and use your knowledge and your education and your career to help people and to further the kingdom of heaven. You can use those things as a tool to, do the Lord's will, but taking pride in the fact that you have a certain job title or a certain career or you make a certain amount of money, that stuff is not important. So I hope I answered your question. I hope the video was not too long. But basically, I say all that to say, no matter what decisions you've made in the past, which is probably, my story, my testimony, no matter what decisions you've made in the past with your life, it's never too late to start seeking the Lord first for your future decisions. No matter what you've done, no matter who you are, the Lord loves you just the same. Once you become a believer in Christ, your slate is washed clean. You're forgiven of any past sins, any past mistakes, any past lapses in judgment. Anything that you did that was not the Lord's will for your life, plan for your life. You're forgiven of all that stuff. It doesn't matter. It's water under the bridge. Just you have a clean state. You can start new. You can start seeking the Lord. So that's my situation. At one time I had no idea. I didn't have a relationship with Him, so I didn't. I made a lot of decisions without including the most important person I should have included. And if that's not your case, if you've always known the Lord, and you're thinking about what career should I have, what degree should I seek, you know, what school should I attend, all of those things. Just seek the Lord. He's always there waiting to steer you in the right direction. So I will talk to you guys soon. Please check me out. I'm going to be on Periscope. I am loving Periscope. I'm following some people on Periscope, and I love the live random videos, and I want to participate too. So check me out on Periscope. It's Everything Ebony. I'm trying to do videos, you know, a few times a week on Periscope. See how that goes. Definitely check me out on Periscope, Everything Ebony, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.